where it all begins, keeping those calves healthy and coming up to the feed bunk. We talk nutrition strategies. Crew, let's ranch it up. Good day, everyone, and thanks for riding with us on this all-new episode of the Ranch It Up Radio Show. I'm Jeff Tigger Erhardt.
And I'm Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Bec. A big thank you to our partners, Vitelli, Pharmatan and Imogene Ingredients, the American Galvay Association, the Tri-State Livestock News, the Farmer and Rancher Exchange, and the Fence Post, Abrahamson Rodeo Company, Westway Feed Products, Neogen, Allied Genetic Resources, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, RFD TV, the Cowboy Channel, and Wrangler.
Cow Country News, you know, the cow stuff.
Fake meat makes the news yet again. Heading to the Western Journal for our top news story. American consumers have turned on the fake meat industry. A once thriving market is now struggling to grow for a number of reasons, including oversaturation, high prices compared to real meat, and a perception problem, a Monday report from Bloomberg revealed. Thanks to these many factors, the fake meat industry sales numbers are dropping. As of September 4th, the sale of refrigerated fake meats had dropped 10.5% compared to the year prior, Bloomberg reported. This is quite shocking considering that only a few years ago in 2020, industry sales skyrocketed by a whopping 27%. Representatives from the consulting firm told Bloomberg that one of the factors tanking the industry is its apparent ties to wokeness. Even customers looking for alternatives to red meat are turned off by this woke association. According to the apolitical educational resource New Discourses, wokeness describes a set of ideas that define the world as a set of unjust power dynamics and corrupt systems that need to be dismantled. Recent customer backlash to Cracker Barrel's Impossible Sausage deemed to demonstrate the theory that wokeness is turning off consumers. After Cracker Barrel announced the new menu item on August 1st, the blowback was immediate and intense, according to the Washington Post. The outlet also provided a number of comments as evidence of this backlash. All the more reason to stop eating at Cracker Barrel. This is not what Cracker Barrel was to be all about, one person wrote, according to the Post. A third commenter added, if I wanted a salad, I would in fact order a salad. Stop with the plant-based meat.
Nearly 3 in 4 American beef eaters say they can't imagine giving up the taste of beef. That's according to new research from Maiden Marketing that aims to help meat processors and retailers understand how marketing claims drive beef purchases. Among the top findings, 88% purchase at least some conventional beef, 72% can't imagine giving up the taste of beef, 68% purchase beef with production claims at least some of the time, 62% purchase premium beef. Recent data shows that 81% of American consumers eat beef on a regular basis. The survey fielded in April of 2022 presented a nationally representative sample of the U.S. beef consumers with 28 different product attributes. Claims tested ranged from quality claims including USDA prime or choice grade, production claims like grass-fed or carbon neutral, and sourcing claims such as locally raised or product of the USA. According to the research, they were not surprised to find that price attributes continues to be a major consideration for many shoppers when they buy beef. However, the sheer volume of data that was collected means that they can tailor insights to any size retailer or processor, uncovering consumer expectations beyond price, and even go as far as validating current strategies or shed new light on which claims motivate a particular group of shoppers. And as far as I'm concerned, as long as 100% of people say they are not willing to give up the taste of beef.
In other news, approximately a month back, we brought you the story of a new proposed packing plant to be built in Rapid City, South Dakota. But it appears plans have now changed to the frustration of many. Western Legacy Development Corporation continues to search for a site to build its $1.1 billion beef processing facility after being rejected by 2 cities in the Northern Plains. According to Rapid City, South Dakota, and Cheyenne, Wyoming, they are no longer considered in the running for the plant. When Western Legacy first announced its intentions to build the 8,000 head per day plant, Rapid City was the proposed site. but the city's industrial center developer said the proposed space was not large enough to accommodate a plant that large. Last week, rumors began that Cheyenne might be the next choice for the plant, but the city's mayor said it could not meet the water demand of a meat plant that size. Megan R. Kingsbury, president and CEO of Western Development, said the plant still is on track to break ground in 2023 and begin operations by 2026, and that the plant is just the first of several, according to Western Legacy's long-term plans in the meat industry.
Feeder calf sales are in full swing across the country, so fire me your results. Pictures, if you've got videos to those calves, info on the calves, the weight, sex, breeding, management, vaccination, obviously the prices you receive, etc. All the information that you would supply the sale barn, or your country buyers, send that along in and send them our direction, and we'll post them and share them through our social media channels. ranchitupshow@gmail.com is the email. 707-RANCH20. That's 707-726-2420. Goes right to my cell phone all the time. Now, personally, I need to see what those bred heifers are going to be going for, so send me those prices. Bred cows, let me know too, if you would, please. I'd be obliged. And before we dump at a break, I want to go to Next Gen Cattle Company, a wrap-up of their production sale in Paxico, Kansas. 83 Charolais bulls averaged $66.36. 112 Beefmaster bulls averaged $65.91. 29 Beefmaster females averaged $10,905. And then 49 Beefmaster and Angus bred heifers, they averaged $21.65. Quite a wing-dinger of a sale. Now stick around. We've got a lot more of the Ranch It Up radio show coming up right after this.
Cattle market reports to various news stories. The Tri-State Livestock News covers it all. Check us out at tsln.com. Subscriptions or advertising, call Tracy Hawk at 406-951-3211. The Tri-State Livestock News, what ranchers read.
Hey, it's Mark Banzi with LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, and AuctionTime.com. Give us a call, 844-775-4762, or look us up online at LivestockMarket.com. Thanks, guys.
How to get healthier calves and more dollars in your pocket using Pharmatan.
Coccidia control, and then excellent with that transition to solid feed and seeing their weights really hold up as they put cattle through their weaning ration.
ImageneIngredients.com.
Vitelli is a precision livestock company that has set out to solve what we call the triple challenge. And the triple challenge is really the combination of the need for more protein, coupled with doing it in a more sustainable production practice, doing it in a way that producers can make money.
Want a full-service rodeo entertainment production enterprise? Abrahamson Rodeo Company. Head to abrahamsonrodeo.com and Abrahamson Rodeo Company on Facebook. Abrahamson Rodeo Company. Want to add just a little bit of spice to your event, your customer appreciation supper, your banquet, your meeting?
Oh, yeah.
Well, bring in us. Bec and I as your keynote speakers, hosts, MCs, a host couple. We'll make them laugh, even cry tears of joy. Call us today. Let's get it on.
Cattle battle.
Providing as many solutions as we possibly can, maximizing efficiency and hopefully profit along the way if we can. Today we look at nutrition for your calves that are being weaned, soon to be weaned, commingling with other calves. Whether we're buying or selling, reducing stress is the key to keeping those calves happy and healthy, and one of those ways is with proper nutrition. I'm going to say that's kind of the top of the pyramid there, and we're going to look at this one from a few different directions. First, proper introductions need to be made. Dr. Robbie Bondurant, a service technician and sales manager with Westway Feed Products. Hey, Robbie, glad to have you on the show with us. Thanks for getting this conversation going. Now, let's talk about these weaned calves, or soon-to-be weaned calves.
That segment of the business is all about managing stress, right? I mean, whether it's stress of weaning or stress of commingling, immunity challenges, getting cattle to eat if they've never seen a bunk. I mean, it's all sorts of stressors, maybe even environmental stressors, right? And so how can you minimize or manage stress the best? And we know that if we can minimize and manage that stress properly, we increase the opportunity not only for performance, but also for survival of that animal. because they can be very susceptible to that stress. The United States beef production system is one of the probably the most looked at and I don't know if the term greatest in the world, but probably the most improved. And a lot of that's through technologies. Obviously, we've got a lot of companies that their sole focus is developing technologies, feed additives that can help with certain problems. And there's companies out there that have products that help to reduce stressors. So that's one way to incorporate that into a feed program that helps minimize stress or helps get cattle onto feed quicker, right? And so those are some things to be able to minimize that from an intake standpoint or even immunity standpoint. I talk a lot with producers about the balance between managing nutrition and feed intake and the effectiveness of even vaccines, because if in that space, if we don't have proper nutrition and mineral balance in that calf, they're not going to respond to a vaccine. So we're doing two things. One, we're wasting money with that vaccine, but we're also, increasing the risk that that animal is susceptible to, an immunity challenge or disease. And obviously that leads to performance issues, right? And so, again, it comes back to, from a management standpoint, how can we maximize the opportunity to set that calf up for success? And to me, as a nutritionist, I'm always gonna think that the first thing is intake, being able to get calves on feed, get that. The biggest thing is, especially as they come off of the mama, as they're weaned off mom and either go to a sale barn or transported, they've got to learn a new way of gathering nutrients, right? And so if that's eating at a bunk or foraging on their own, so to speak, anything we can do to encourage intake and get them to eat is a benefit. Some of that comes back to, if you're unsure of what to do or what that might be, having a trusted advisor that you can lean on to be able to help walk you through that, right? Myself personally, it's part of my job or responsibility to read research and understand products and understand what's going on. And not everybody's that way, or that not everybody has the time to do that. And so having a trusted advisor that you can lean on to do that, I think that's one way to be proactive. The other thing that I stress many times with producers, and I know it's somewhat of a double-edged sword, but quality ingredients matter. Just because something is cheap does not mean it's good. It might work for the pocketbook and cheapen up a ration or a feed program, but is it actually providing what you need? And that's what I work with folks all the time. And to me, that's a proactive thing. Think through, rather than, well, I can get it for free, so I'm going to take it. Well, what is it actually going to provide you? Do some looking into it to see what's the value of that feed stuff, ultimately to not only to my operation, but to the animal and what I'm trying to accomplish. I use the term, and I didn't come up with it, but junk in is junk out. And when we talk about, backgrounding calves specifically, it is 100% true, because they need their protein and energy requirements are higher because they're a growing animal, and they have all those stressors upon them that they need to fight through. And quite frankly, that takes nutrients to be able to do that. One of the things that I try to, I guess, remind folks of is some people want to look at a backgrounding calf as like a cow. And a cow is one of the most efficient animals at turning low quality ingredients into high quality meat product, right? But the challenge that we face with calves is they don't have the developed rumen and digestive system, the capacity like a cow does. And so there's not as much ability there or efficiency to turn those products into a high quality protein yet. And that's where the intake comes in, is trying to build intake and build that capacity in the rumen and increase that efficiency. But, you have to start with quality ingredients in order to do that. And it's also not just quality, but a balance of quality, right? There's a balance of nutrients that need to be there. And quite frankly, it can be overlooked. And ultimately that hurts, can hurt the business, hurt the profitability, hurt the cattle's, chance at success.
I think that really, especially when we're talking about feeding calves versus cows, like you said, those calves are not fully developed yet. They're not the efficient machine that they will be later on in life. That's really where we need to bring in and make sure that we have somebody that has, like you, Robbie, and your team, to come over, look over our shoulder, to really, help us to the best possible thing that we can. Because, like I said, nutrition that's the long game, right?
When you talk about long game, when we're specifically talking about backgrounding calves, you could also talk about the long game of who you're selling those, what feed yard are you selling those calves to, and are they happy with how those cattle perform once they hit the yard? And you see it a lot that, producers who are proactive and, managing their feedstuffs and using a trusted advisor, so to speak, those folks have repeat business from feed yards that want their calves because they know how they're going to perform. They're going to hit the yard and go on feed. And so when you talk about long game, there's also that aspect of it too, right? And so, and it's very important to that part of the business, because you got to have somewhere to sell your product. The other balance that I think about too is, talking in terms of sick cattle or sick calves in that situation, it begs the question, do sick cattle just not eat, or is it that they're sick because they're not eating, right? And so that always begs the question. And I've seen it, and research has shown it many times, that the sooner you can get cattle on feed and eating a proper, diet, so to speak, or proper ration, the less sick cattle you have. You treat less calves, which ultimately means less medicine costs, and sets those calves up, again, for success. So I think it's one and the same, and it's a balance. And, when we talk about a trusted advisor, having a veterinarian as well, that is integral into your business, that can help you, navigate what products to use or what challenges you're facing. That's another trusted advisor that is extremely important to have in that part of the business.
Dr. Robbie Bondurant, thanks so much for the time. There are lots of takeaways from this conversation that Robbie and I just had. Number one, get with a trusted advisor and together come up with the best and, of course, most affordable solution that you can. You can always start by reaching out to Robbie or any one of the Westway crew. We hear from them quite often. Or start that conversation with your veterinarian, as Robbie said. But either way, that trusted advisor, that's the best way to start, is with communication and conversation. Next week, we talk specific products to help manage that calf hood health. But for now, let's take a quick break and come back with Kirk and the numbers right after this. Neogen, the partner you need.
Some of our best products and improvements come from producers. And if they've got an idea on maybe how we can help, we'd like to hear what they have to say. Contact us directly. Go to neogen.com. We're more than happy to help.
Neogen, the partner you now have. You're looking at those calves and you're seeing all the hard work pay off. Vaccinations and herd health and management, genetics, marketing, and nutrition. Keep nutrition simple with Westway feed products. You can count on Westway. WestwayFeed.com. Gelbvieh and Balancer, maternal efficiency and moderate mature size are a few of the strengths of Gelbvieh. Longevity, fertility, pounds of calf weaned per cow exposed are all part of that picture. Gelbvieh and Balancer, the continental breed of choice. How to get healthier calves and more dollars in your pocket using Pharmatan.
Coccidia control, and then excellent with that transition to solid feed and seeing their weights really hold up as they put cattle through their weaning ration.
ImageneIngredients.com, home of Pharmatan.
Pro rodeo fans, watch the Cowboy Channel anytime, anywhere with PRCA on the Cowboy Channel Plus. Live stream the Cowboy Channel or watch your favorite PRCA rodeos on demand. Classic PRCA rodeos added weekly. Get the PRCA on the Cowboy Channel Plus for only $9.99 a month or save 25% by signing up for a full year. Visit CowboyChannelPlus.com to sign up and start streaming today.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for staying with us. Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated. Just a reminder, if those of you just joining our program or just found us, congratulations, by the way. You can follow Kirk along, which we always say we encourage you to do so, and you can get his free newsletter, which goes a little bit more in depth about what we do here on the Ranch It Up radio show by texting the word cattle, CATTLE, to 33777. Kirk, how are you, my friend?
I'm very good this morning, Tigger, and I'd like to just say hello to all your listeners out there. We very much appreciate them spending the time to listen to us.
And we're going into my favorite time of year. It's fall. Maybe it's because it's paycheck time for some of us. We're selling calves and we're getting some cash, but it is that time of year when we find out all those things that we do, our genetics that we purchased a couple of years ago, those bulls, are they working? Our management, our herd health program, nutrition, all of those different things wrapped up into one is when now we kind of get a chance to see what worked and what didn't work. We're weaning calves, we're selling calves, we're PGing cows, we're kind of getting things set up, we're fixing to hunker in a lot of times for the winter. So for me, it's my favorite time of year.
I would agree completely. I might be a little more simple than you, Tigger. I just like the weather cooling off, but it's not cold.
Right.
And as you're going through those spreadsheets, you get to watch football.
Exactly. I was going to say, and the one thing that we didn't mention that Kirk and I always are talking about is football, and we're usually gigging each other about this college team or that college team. But let's do your favorite part each and every week. Let's roll through the numbers. What do we got, my friend?
All right, Tigger, as of Friday, September 23rd, October feeders closed the week at 178.40. That's down 265 on the week, with the CME feeder index at 180.15, up 333, leaving our basis a positive $2.02 against September futures. So note that I quoted October and the basis against September. We did have a cattle on feed this week. The cattle on feed came out at 100.4% with expectations of 100. Place also came in at 100.4, but with expectations of 97.9, so a little miss on the placement numbers. The good news is the marketing came in at 106.4 versus expectation of 105.4. So we got bearish placement numbers and bullish marketing numbers, and it washes out to be generally a neutral report. October live closed the week at 144.40, down $1.17.5, with cash trading 143 to 45 in the south, 145 to 147 in the north, leaving the 5 area weighted average at 144.55, up $1.76. So good cash movement. Basis was negative 30 cents with a weekly slaughter of 667,000 head, a very big number, 24,000 head more than the same week last year. Choice boxes closed the week at 248.63. So note that we're under 250 for the first time in quite a while, and that's down $3.77 on the boxes. The big news this week was the stock market, which I'm sure all our listeners have already heard or seen somewhere. And I just want to make special note that everybody notices that the premium is coming out of the deferred contracts. The nearby contracts are being supported by cash and not going too far, but that huge premium we've been carrying, for example, in April live 2023, is definitely eroding. To wrap this up, December corn closed the week at $6.75. That's down 4.25 cents on the week.
Hey guys, it's Mark Banzi with Livestock Market and equinemarket.com. I want to remind everybody we got 5 days left to get colts, fillies, and weanlings posted to our October 19th special weanling horse online auction. Now it's a weanling special, but all classes of horses are welcome on that sale. The cutoff to get horses listed for it is this coming Wednesday, October 5th. Now, all horses that go on this sale are going to get a free print ad in our National Weekly Auction Time Sale catalog that goes out across the country. If you got any horses that you want to get on that sale, it's really easy. You just go get the pictures and the videos of them and give us a call. and we can help you get them on the sale. All the lots are going to open for bidding on Thursday, October 13th. They'll take bids for 1 week, and they'll sell on Wednesday, the 19th. When the sale's over, the buyers come out to your place and pick up the horse, and they pay you directly. Sounds like something that might work for you? Give us a call today at 844-228-0488, or check us out online at equinemarket.com. Thanks, guys.
I tip my hat to you, from one legend to another.
Before we go, a big tip of the hat to all the bull haulers out there. It's going to get to be that time of year when they are going up and down the roads. We hope y'all get some rest.
And now that's going to wrap it for today. A big thanks from our crew to yours, Dr. Robbie Bondurant with Westway Feed Products, Mark Vanzi with LivestockMarket.com, Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated, and the Boss Lady, that'd be you.
A big thank you to our partners, Vitali, Pharmatan and Imogene Ingredients, the American Galvay Association, the Tri-State Livestock News, the Farmer and Rancher Exchange, and the Fence Post, Abrahamson Rodeo Company, Westway Feed Products, Neogen, Allied Genetic Resources, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, RFD TV, the Cowboy Channel, and Wrangler.
And crew, so glad y'all came with us one more time as we Ranch It Up. Be sure to like and follow us on Facebook at Ranch It Up Show, and follow us along there. We have lots of updates and a lot of information that gets pushed out during the week. Our email, and you can get a hold of us anytime, is ranchitupshow@gmail.com, and you can call and text us 24/7 at 707-RANCH20. That's 707-RANCH20. Spread the good word and join us again next week, where it's always Tigger approved.
Stay ranchy and ranch it up.